Hello, my name is Evan Krapko. This is Brian Kadis. I'm the founder and CEO, and Brian's the Chief Product Officer based in San Francisco. Did you know that between 64 million and 100 million Americans, adult consumers, cannot be scored for credit or scored properly? And in the world, 3 billion adults. We're here to solve that problem and allow deserving people to get the credit that they deserve. We do that with unstructured data. So that 97% of data about each and every one of you that may or may not be financial, whereas the old credit bureaus, as we call them, credit bureau version 1.0 and 60 or 70 years old in one case, are working with structured and financial data, so between 3 and 5% of the picture about you. We do this by offering cloud native and mobile native service to lenders, delivering a credit score that's FCRA compliant and ECOA compliant in the US. We're focused on the US to start with, and what we say we do is sift the prime from the subprime. And with that, we'll begin our demonstration by taking on a case study of who are you, who, middle initial, are you. Mr. Yu has been declined for credit and in trying to purchase a car. He's a young student. He's trying to get a job across town, part-time job, and become a valuable contributing member of society, but getting turned down everywhere he goes. Fortunately, he shows up at Apex Auto, one of Trust Science's customers, which is also fortunate under the circumstances, because what we can do is taking information from our lender customers, consumer finance companies and others, we can run a score on who based on publicly available information. And we'll also show you, as one other step, based on information from whose mobile phone. Under the scoring request here, Brian will just show you that we have contexts for other verticals. For AI purposes, the context matters. This is an auto loan, and so we'll be using the auto models. We have 30 patents in 6 different countries powering what we're doing here. And so as soon as Brian hits next, now that we've approved the data is valid on who, we get a score back immediately. This is analogous to, or a rough comparable about what the conventional version 1.0 credit bureaus do. In case this was a high score, we get on the happy path, who gets the loan, and everyone moves on. But what you're seeing now is that that score changed because in parallel, in the meantime, in those few seconds that I was talking, Trust Science went out into the world, what you could do if you had 1,000 hours to search on Mr. Yu, and we built this social graph and got a lot of different publicly available information on who, and we brought it forward into the model. We distinguish ourselves, apart from doing everything else that others are doing, we're absolutely the world's leaders on getting that social viewpoint and broader circumstance. At the very last screen of this demo, you'll see under the covers a little bit about what that data looks like. Unfortunately for who, the cutoff at Apex is 6:30, and so we simply need more information, and Trust Science makes it simple for Apex to request that from who. So Brian, as the loans officer, is going to initiate an invitation to who onto his cell phone or email, and then he's going to switch hats and go to the phone. You're going to see what the borrower applicant sees now on the next screen. And we're inviting, as Trust Science, we're inviting the borrower of our lender customer to give us data on themselves and on a permissioned, on a friendly basis, on a legally compliant basis, an ethical basis. We're getting consent to be on their cell phone. What we're doing in that case is getting through, they're giving us credentials to look in on LinkedIn and other of their social media accounts. It's pretty powerful and immediately apparent that who, let's say they're new to the country, they have a rich history of their interactions and reliability and patterns of behavior in their previous home. And so Trust Science is bringing all of that to bear in generating the next score. And so when that process is done, this score on the console, we come back to where we are now. Seems like we didn't get to the to the cell phone view, but we would come back to the console after we finish the cell phone view, which is going to have to go very fast now. And you're seeing user interface design. We have our VP of design right here across the bridge in Berkeley. We're big believers in what the topic of half of this conference is on CX and how you can get 80% of your ROI and cut like a hot knife through butter if your apps team and the leadership on apps, as well as working with professional design, makes this easy. So you're seeing Brian as who, logging in through LinkedIn to give Trust Science those credentials. When we go back to the console, you'll see that that score, 626, it could have gone lower, could have gone higher. That will be determined as soon as this runs through its process. And then who will either get the loan and our lender customer gets a happy borrower, probably a customer for life, who by virtue of his relief and happiness gets to word of mouth talk about in favorable terms his lender. Again, there we are at 636, now above the 630 cutoff. So what we've showed you is that we'll get alternative data that's unstructured that none of the version 1.0 credit bureaus are doing. We're doing that to sift the prime borrowers, people who are in fact prime but look subprime or unbankable under the conventional system. We're doing it with publicly available data as well as permissioned, consented data from the mobile phone and sifting the prime from the subprime. This was the screen I showed you that would give you a peek under the hood of what that looks like being manifest to get that 636 score in this case. So welcome to Credit Bureau 2.0. We are at table number 18 at the end of the demos. Thank you very much.